Okay, I'll welcome everyone to the meeting. We have minutes from August 5th.
I would move that we approve those minutes.
I would second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. So we do have a road encroachment permit from Three Rivers Telephone. It's on the Flowery Road. Now it's down by Broken O. And it's just to drill a fiber optic under the road.
Is that in southeastern Teton County or southwestern Teton County?
West.
Southwestern.
Southern, yeah.
Southwestern.
It's east of 287. And
Okay.
so do I have a motion on that?
I would move that we approve that encroachment.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We have a task order from the health department. It's on their maternal and child services. I heard the bells. Must be 10 o'clock.
So what does this task order have to, what do we need to do with that?
It's just part of the funding for the health department. Usually there's a dollar amount on here.
5,600 or something.
I think I wrote it on the board.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
That's me.
See lots of numbers, but no total.
No, I did not.
There's a lot of different payments, but normally they have a total on here.
I've seen them before, I guess I just been a while since that.
That's kind of odd.
Mm-hmm.
$1,126.80 by January 15th, and then April 15th the same payment, July 15th the same payment, October the same payment, and November 2020 the same payment. So it would be
About
around
$56,000.
$6,000.
$6,000.
So I need a motion on this one.
I'd move to accept it for the health department.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Want me to add that up for you now at the end? It's around $6,000. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And then we have our annual agreement with MSU to provide extension services. And it's the same amounts as is in her budget. It's the total is $181,659 for her budget. And we split that, I believe it's 65-35.
Who's 65 and who's 35?
We're 65.
Okay.
And then we supply that's just on the two extension
Just
agents,
on
and
the
we
two
supply
extensions.
the offices, and we supply the other two people that work there. Same agreement we've had. I think at one point we had a different agreement with them for a couple of years, but It's basically boilerplate.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's a 1 year from
Yeah,
July 1 to June 30th.
July 1, 2021 to June 30th, 2022.
I would move to accept that.
I would second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. So that brings us to disaster resolution. And like I said before, Mel, if I knew it would make it rain, we should have done this in July. It's pretty short, I'll read it. Whereas precipitation in Teton County remains minimal and unprecedented high temperatures that continue to be issues, whereas the fire conditions are rated extreme, and whereas stream flows are at record lows, and whereas the governor has declared a disaster in every county in Montana, therefore be it resolved, the Teton County Board of Commissioners declare a disaster due to drought and extreme temperatures for the county of Teton, state of Montana. So if I have a motion for that,
I would move to accept that.
I'll second it.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. So that brings us to the budget hearing. And I will declare the budget hearing open.
Okay.
It will be open from now until September 9th. We'll have a budget meeting on September 9th, and we'll take comment from the public on the preliminary budget.
Paula, can you kind of walk us through it?
Sure. So on our taxable valuations went down. From last year was 22,411,799 down to 20,997,654, which put our mill this year at 20,998. I did reach out to the Department of Revenue. They stated it was because of centrally assessed valuations had been, I guess, protested,
And
reevaluated,
negotiated down.
renegotiated down, and then some egg land went down a bit, but they didn't specify what egg.
So centrally assessed properties would be like
Pipelines,
pipeline.
transmission lines,
Railroads.
railroad.
Oh yeah, railroads, all right.
Are the wind farms?
I don't know.
So like BNSF and
Yeah.
Northwestern Energy.
Mhm.
Yep.
I think Verizon, I think the cell phones.
Cell
Oh,
phones.
And
towers,
telecommunications,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
And then some agriculture.
yeah, and they didn't state what, if it was irrigated or dry or, it just said agricultural.
Okay.
All right.
So a result of the lower tax valuation and lower mill yield, when you go through the process and the calculations that they provide us, it actually gave us 50,412 more dollars of authorized authority to spend on our front page.
Budget authority.
Budget authority. Yep.
Okay.
So all in all, it's pretty much everybody, you know, we did use every mill that we had, that we could appropriate on our requirements. And then on the specials, a few went down, a few went up, but the health insurance was the big increase. We had newer hires that accepted the health insurance this year. We added, I think, 2 more full-time positions, which was Danny and Cheyenne at the district court. And I always leave 3 for new hires for fluctuations, so that was up a little bit. Other than
But your
that,
health insurance itself didn't change rates this year, correct?
Correct,
You
just
had
more
no
people using it.
increase.
Yeah, correct.
there were no increase.
And remind me, what does the county pay for health insurance? Pay 100% of the individual person's premium?
Yes.
Basic
Yeah.
single, yep.
Okay. And do you have, how would you know about how many people are on that?
I don't remember. I think it's about
60
60
something.
yes. What, that sticks in my mind, yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I was trying to go through my head what. Yeah, it's gotta be right around
It
there.
might be less, I mean, I don't know, that's something.
I'll follow up with you.
Yeah, I'll find it.
So taxes themselves went up just a little bit because of the drop in the mill value, where we made that up. And any big, purchases in any departments that you know of that are gonna be happening is, are we up for any new fire trucks or ambulances or police vehicles?
Two new police vehicles we ordered, and they're gonna be, we ordered them in May, and they're 22 to 24 months out for delivery.
So they'll be paid for out of this budget year, they're in this year's budget. Okay. And this year's budget also includes a $1 increase
Yep.
for all hourly people and a 5% increase for elected officials.
Right.
And you guys don't charge any, there's no fees that you charge on a regular basis that you increase. There are,
No.
like, the fire fee service area has its own thing, and
Yep, the assessments, no.
so really a fairly, even though the numbers changed, pretty similar to last year's budget.
Yes.
Yep, other than the raises and the more people using the insurance, that was about it.
Did road department have to bump up for fuel this year? Did they?
We did not,
Okay.
but we're gonna see if we can make it through, but fuel is more expensive, so.
School board on Tuesday night bumped up transportation costs because of fuel.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's gonna impact the sheriff's office budget as well, but we trying to squeak through with what we got.
Any fluctuation in the spending that you get from the state, your entitlement or your local option tax, are those came through at about the same amount that they did last year? No big jump, no big decline?
No big jump, they were up maybe just a little, but basically the same.
Okay. Okay, and PILT funding,
It was virtually the same.
okay.
I think it was down just a hair, but not much.
Just barely
It
under.
was within,
No, it wasn't.
It was
Remember,
about
we just
a hair.
did this thing. I got both years, hang on.
And how about, she's looking that up, how about additional coronavirus relief funding? Is there any built into this year's budget? No.
we didn't because ARPA is coming, but I mean, there's so many unknown variables that we just chose not to even build it into the budget.
You can always accept it through a budget amendment.
Yes, and that's kind of what we're planning on doing because we just really don't know how we can spend it or what it will be spent on, so we thought we'd just wait. And that's what Mako's suggestion was to do.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, unless there's anything about the budget that I haven't asked that you guys think would be important for us to tell.
That should cover it, I think.
Peeps.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
There weren't any great big surprises, you know, that.
We're trying to
with
get
it.
windows for the courthouse.
Well, yeah, yeah.
And we talked about that too, Mel. The windows need to be replaced in the courthouse, but we decided this is not the year to do them with the cost of everything skyrocketing, so we're gonna wait and we might try to do that next summer.
Maybe put a RFP out for
Yeah.
the spring.
But we just thought we'd get through this winter and explore that next spring and shoot for next summer.
And Joe, if you guys did that, would that come out of like capital improvements courthouse or?
Yes,
Yes,
yeah, we have, actually, we're doing pretty good on that, because we've been planning on it.
Right.
And so we used So right now, I have 200,000 in there.
And we actually went out for an RFP last year and got no response from anybody.
Yeah,
you
2
know,
years
so,
ago, yeah. We had
With-
begged to get somebody to do our front entry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Of all the budgets that you looked at from the individual department heads, was the sheriff's department like the tightest? Was that, or,
They were all
They
tight.
were
I mean,
all
they
tight.
were all tight.
they're all
Um,
tight, but the sheriff's office and the road are probably, well, they're the two largest budgets and they're the ones that,
Yeah. We actually had to, well, we lowered the sheriff's office salaries down from 510 to 486.
the total. We didn't drop their
We
salaries.
didn't drop their salaries, just the budgeted, yeah.
So basically, if you look through last year's numbers and these year's numbers, the cushion in it is gonna be reduced in a lot of the line items.
What really saved the county this year was the department heads were very frugal, and maybe because of COVID, where you didn't travel as much, you didn't use as much, you didn't spend as much, but our cash, their cash available at the end of the year was really good. I mean, they did fantastic again, but they always do. So that helped to be able to make the mills work.
yeah, probably every department but the health department probably spent less. The health department
Yeah.
probably spent more.
And
Yeah.
could this year too,
Yeah.
the way it's panning out. We were all hoping this deal was over, but I have my doubts.
No.
Okay,
Okay. Any commission reports?
Well, actually, the power streets did get finished, or not finished, but patched over the weekend with a demonstration by a Normont from Great Falls. Came out with their machine and patched those potholes for us. So hopefully people in power are happy for a while. Outside of that, I guess I don't have anything.
Any other commission reports? Public comment?
do we have any takers for the Shoto or Fairfield Cemetery District Board positions?
Our phones have been not ringing off the
Definitely
hook.
not ringing.
You know, and I've talked to a lot of people about that, but boy, nobody's interested.
Yeah, so we haven't made any decisions on that.
Okay,
If we don't get any interest, we can take that board over and run it as commissioners, but I would
I'd
much
rather not
rather
do
have,
that.
right.
you know, then you lose some of the input from the public and that's not a good thing. So we'll keep pursuing that. That's the last resort in my mind.
Yeah.
Any further public comment? Public notices, next meeting September 2nd, tentatively.
You guys gonna do budget adoption on
On
the,
the 9th.
The 9th.
And depending on the interest, if we have, not too many action items, we might just not have one on the 2nd, just have,
could roll it over to the 9th?
yes. But we'll know more about that as things turn out. So tentatively September 2nd, our next meeting. Anything else, guys?
No, not for me.
Okay, we're adjourned.
Thank you.
Need a couple signatures.
Okay.